Do you think you know everything about Rome? Fierce gladiators, powerful emperors, and massive constructions. But what if I told you there's a hidden side to this story that almost no one knows? A secret so dangerous that the emperors did everything they could to bury it. Mysterious gods, forbidden cults, and secret rituals that took place in the shadows, far from the prying eyes of the people. While everyone worshipped Jupiter and Mars, a small group followed forbidden deities that controlled things far more terrifying and significant. But why were these gods so dangerous? What did they truly rule over? And, more importantly, why did Rome try to erase them from history forever? Rome. You've heard of this incredible city, full of glory, epic battles, and gigantic temples, right? But, what if I told you there's a part of this story that nobody talks about? Something so secret that even the emperors themselves tried to wipe it from history forever. The Romans worshipped powerful gods like Jupiter, Mars, and Venus. Following their grand rituals was mandatory. But what most people don't know is that there were other gods, hidden gods, worshipped in secret by those who knew the truth. These secret cults came from distant lands, offering things that the Roman gods never could: immortality, absolute power, and even protection in deadly battles. They attracted everyone, from soldiers to powerful senators, each seeking something beyond the ordinary. But why were these cults so dangerous? What were they hiding? Rome's rulers realized these cults were spiraling out of control, so they decided to hunt them down. They tried to erase every trace, but did they really succeed? Rome. A grand city, full of mighty gods and imposing temples. But what if I told you that, hidden beneath the Colosseum and the luxurious palaces, there were secrets that were never meant to come to light? Hidden gods, forbidden cults, and rituals so terrifying that even Roman senators were too afraid to speak about them. These cults operated in the shadows, far from the eyes of the public. And you know what's even crazier? They offered something the traditional Roman gods never could: protection beyond death, the secrets of ultimate power, and the promise of eternal rebirth. But, what did they demand in return? Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, and stay tuned right here on the channel. Let's hit our goal of 1,000 subscribers together. Let's make it happen. Mithras, the god of hidden light. Imagine being a Roman soldier, facing death every single day. But there's a secret. A promise of divine protection reserved only for the bravest. Deep within silent caves, mysterious rituals were performed for Mithras, the god of hidden light. The Taurobolium ritual was the ultimate test. The blood of a bull would pour over the initiates, marking them forever as sacred warriors of Mithras. It was a pact of life and death. Cybele, the forbidden goddess of fertility. And now, something even stranger. The cult of Cybele was wild, chaotic, and to many, downright terrifying. During the celebrations, devotees would enter a state of absolute ecstasy. They danced, screamed, and did things that Rome wanted to forget. But the more they tried to ban it, the more the cult grew. After all, Cybele offered something no one else could: the promise of eternal rebirth and infinite fertility. Isis, the queen of the occult. And then we have Isis, the Egyptian goddess who brought with her the secret of life after death. Her cult was so powerful that even Rome's elite secretly followed her teachings. Why? Isis temples were packed with Romans hungry for answers. And the emperors? Well, they weren't too thrilled with this foreign influence. Now here's a detail that few people know. These secret cults left hidden marks all over Rome. Mysterious symbols could be found in temples, on coins, and even in tombs. But only the initiates knew what they truly meant. Rome, the most powerful empire in history. But behind all its glory, there was something the emperors feared more than enemy armies: secret cults, forbidden rituals, and knowledge so dangerous it was banned forever. These cults were seen as a real threat to Rome's power. What if the people discovered that the gods they worshipped in secret promised something the empire could never offer? Power, protection, and even eternal life. That's why emperors like Augustus and Diocletian did everything they could to wipe them out. They feared that these underground cults could destroy Rome from within. But why so much fear? What were these cults really hiding? The problem was simple: these cults offered something that went against everything Rome stood for. While the traditional Roman gods demanded obedience and public sacrifices, the secret gods promised something different: personal transformation, hidden knowledge that could free people from the empire's control. And Rome couldn't let that happen. If people started believing that these rituals could change their lives, what would stop a revolt? What would stop Rome from collapsing? And so, a relentless hunt began. Temples were destroyed, followers were persecuted, and any mention of these gods was erased from official records. But, what were they so afraid of? What was happening inside these cults that made Rome tremble? And here's the part historians have tried to bury for centuries. The secret rituals were filled with mystery and symbolism. Many involved the use of blood, offerings, and promises of extraordinary powers. To be accepted, you had to go through intense trials, and one of them was the baptism of blood. Followers believed this ritual connected them directly to the gods, granting them protection and wisdom. Does this make sense to you? Comment 1 if it does, or 0 if you have doubts about these teachings. Share your thoughts below. Mysterious inscriptions have been found deep beneath Rome, revealing secret formulas of power and even forbidden knowledge about the cosmos. These cults believed that the stars held the destiny of humanity and that their rituals could influence the course of events. But that's not all. Astrology was one of the pillars of these cults. They claimed they could predict wars, harvests, and even the fate of the empire itself based on the position of the stars. But perhaps the most tempting secret of these cults was the promise of eternal life. It is believed that specific rituals could guarantee passage to an afterlife where initiates would live alongside the gods forever. And the most fascinating part? Some of these relics have been found buried with members of the Roman elite, suggesting that even the most powerful believed in these forbidden secrets. Even today, historians are trying to decipher the true meaning of these artifacts. But did these cults actually know the secrets of eternal life? Or were they just charlatans, taking advantage of the fear of the unknown? And here's the million-dollar question. Did these forbidden cults truly vanish, or did they just evolve, hiding under new beliefs? What many people don't realize is that, over the centuries, several Christian churches were built right on top of ancient pagan temples. The reason? Simple. The people were already used to worshipping in those places. It was easier to transform a sacred space than to completely destroy it. The symbols that once represented secret rituals and promises of power are now hidden in plain sight. Some scholars believe this wasn't a coincidence but rather a strategy to keep the cults alive, disguised within the new dominant faith. And the similarities don't stop there. Many researchers suggest that elements of Christian rituals may have been inspired by practices from these secret cults. For example, the initiation rites involving water and wine, something that was already happening in the cults of Isis and Mithra centuries before Christianity spread across the Roman Empire. And do you think it's just a coincidence that the cross, so central to Christianity, was also used in many of these ancient cults to represent rebirth and divine protection? And it's not just the practices that might have survived. Modern excavations have uncovered mind-blowing relics beneath ancient Christian churches. Entire pagan temples, hidden statues, and even intact offerings suggest that these cults may have never truly disappeared, they just changed their names. These discoveries make us wonder. Were the secret cults really wiped out? Or did they just learn to hide better? Now, here's an even bolder theory. What if these cults didn't just survive, but evolved into even more sophisticated forms of worship? Secret societies, occult orders, esoteric rituals that, in some way, still carry the essence of the ancient Roman cults. The same symbols, the same teachings, just adapted for modern times. Enjoying this story? Smash that like button and help keep Rome's legacy alive. Some say these ancient secrets are everywhere, hidden in monuments, public buildings, and even important documents. The problem is, only a few can truly see them. The truth is, history always has two sides. What seems to be buried might be more alive than ever, and the secrets of the past might be closer than we ever imagined. Rome, an empire of grandeur, conquests, and mysteries. The secret gods that were once worshipped in the shadows may have been silenced, but, did they really disappear? Or are they still alive, camouflaged in new beliefs, symbols, and traditions that have shaped the world as we know it? Throughout this journey, we've uncovered how these cults defied emperors, survived persecution, and left a lasting mark that still echoes today. Their promises of power, protection, and immortality attracted everyone, from soldiers to nobles. But the real question is, was it all just superstition, or did they actually know something that Rome desperately wanted to hide? From underground temples to towering churches, from forgotten rituals to traditions that still spark curiosity today. The line between myth and reality is thinner than we think. Now that you're in on these secrets, it's your turn to reflect. Were Rome's secret cults just a lost belief buried in time, or a carefully disguised political strategy that shaped entire generations?